Is it the fault of the airlines like Lufthansa that there's so much chaos at the airports, especially when it comes to check-in or to the boarding process? The chaos at airports has another topic, which means that you're maybe entitled to compensation. The EU261 2004, but Lufthansa is one of the airlines which has a very bad reputation when it comes to your rights, says the lawyer. And Lufthansa 5-star Skytrax rating was revoked, and now they are classified as a 4-star airline. Your voices and your comments, I will give you an update on that and what Lufthansa will do to get it right. Austrian Airlines is increasing the ticket prices, but the service is going down, and some whistleblower gave us some insight, and we are just quoting from one of the blogs, Austrian, what is it called? Austrian Wings. And like always, we hope to end the show with a good, beautiful story for you, which is the Deal Zone Alert for less than 1,000 euros from Europe to Abu Dhabi with Lufthansa, business class. My name is Lars. I'm here to bring you more miles, more points, more status. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for hitting the notification button, and thank you for commenting and leaving us a like. Write me on WhatsApp as well. A couple of people did write me on WhatsApp, send me some insider news or some hints. Thank you for doing so, especially if you are from the English-speaking community where we are starting to build it. The German one is giving already a lot of feedback. The first topic is, in my opinion, an important one. Is Lufthansa in charge of their own mess in Cologne, basically Eurowings, which is a Lufthansa daughter, in Düsseldorf, or at other airports? And when you look on television, you see in Stockholm, Arlanda, in UK, everywhere, you see the nightmare situations at airports. Some are worse, some are even more worse. But there is one holy airport in Bavaria which is fighting the system. Actually, it's all airports in Bavaria. It's Nuremberg, Munich, and Memmingen. So what happens? This chaos or catastrophe, however you call it, at the German airports or European airports are homemade, in my opinion. Why? When you go to the check-in and you're trying to check in, you have not enough employees. Whose fault is it? Now everybody is writing, yeah, we don't have the employees, they run away. No, you fired them. And a lot of people just resigned. A lot of people just said, hey, I don't see any perspective. Interesting take on that was in Doha. They said that it's the fault of the government because the government, they said that flying is not something which is not anymore feasible, blah, 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 and they closed countries due to COVID. So the people said, no, we are not doing it anymore. But you saw it already before the travel season started. In Germany, the travel season started yesterday on Friday, or actually 2 days ago, is Sunday. Why? Because the vacation North Rhine-Westphalia, which is the biggest state in Germany, started, and there were queues in Cologne, 1.5 kilometers. Can you imagine? 1.5 kilometer long queue for check-in. Unbelievable. Düsseldorf Airport, the queues. There were so many queues, the people didn't know for which queue they are queuing up, and some people queued even up for the wrong one. In German television, there was one family who queued up for checking in, and after 2 hours they realized the wrong queue, they had to queue up on the other queue. It is unbelievable. And 3 million passengers are expected in Düsseldorf, which is the 4th biggest airport over the summer. I mean, people, and you have not enough staff. So the next thing is you go through the security after you fought your way through the check-in. You are standing on the gate, and then you see the aircraft, no crew, because they have crew shortage. What does it mean? You have to go out, you have to go to the ticket counter. Yes, Eurowings has a ticket counter in Düsseldorf, and there are 2 people working. Let us just say we have 200 people on board, just for the easiness of calculation. 200 people, 2 people for rebooking, it's 100 for each. Rebooking time 5 minutes, which is really a low value because there are not as many flights that you can rebook people. People got flights in 3 days, 4 days, but when you have a vacation of 6 days and you have 4 days, that is absolutely not acceptable. I, for myself, I tried to get to Athens as I was invited as a speaker for the aviation event and couldn't get a flight below 1,000 euros. And this said, when you go to these people and you need 5 minutes and you are at the end of the queue, 100, so 100 times 5, that is 500 minutes. 60 minutes an hour, you get it. It's unbelievable. Of course, it was not bad. Why not? Because it needed anyways a couple of hours until you got your luggage back. So however you make it and however you think about it, it is a F up from the airlines. I mean, it cannot be true that you have a ticket counter with 2 people. That is absolutely not acceptable. And why is it that way? Because they fired people. And in Bavaria, it's different. In Bavaria, the people are paid like government employees. It's a government-owned company, it's private, but they are, in German it's called Beamter, that is a state employee. And they are paid like them, and they got the money still during the times of COVID. So what did it mean? They didn't resign, they stayed in the job, and now they're available. Of course, they have some people who are sick, but the fluctuation of people is low. So that is the future. That is the thing what you have to do. And I think especially in countries where they privatized, like in Germany in the 90s, the security, reverse it. That is my thing. Of course, it will not happen until tomorrow, but it takes time. Lufthansa says until 2023, they will have everything back to normal, but hey, unbelievable in my opinion. I'm looking forward to your comments. When it comes to the likely event, not unlikely, likely event of flight cancellation, you have rights, yes. And one of the companies who are doing it is Flightride, or you can do it yourself, you can claim your money, you can go in front of a court, but there are companies who are doing it for you. I'm personally not a big fan of those because I fight for myself, but there is a number which make me shake my head when I did read it. U-Flight, that is a company which is doing it as a service provider, they had in June 2019, before COVID, 372 service requests or complaints about delayed flights. Now in June 2022, they have already 2,126, 6 times more, and the month is not finished. We have today the 26th. So people, what is happening? Another thing which is in my opinion a real problem is that this refund problem of your flights or the compensation, especially the EU261 2004, airlines are not properly dealing with it. When you look at it, Lufthansa is one of the worst. There is so much annoyance and trouble when you deal with Lufthansa because they don't give you a flight. They have to give you a flight, but they don't do it. If they give it to you, it's like I said, 3 days, 4 days. No, you have to look on other airlines. You have to look on other connections. Of course, it doesn't make sense when you're flying from Munich to Cologne via London. But if this is the only option, you have to do it. Pay for it. And not that you have to fight for it. When you come late, because of the short distance, it would be 250 euros, but airlines are not paying it. And Lufthansa is one airline which is going there so far that if you don't sue them, they're not going to pay. That is unbelievable. And they have so many crazy things to avoid to pay that you have to go through hoops and loops and unbelievable. Dr. Matthias Böse, that is a friend of mine, he is a lawyer, he's specialized actually in this kinds of cases and he's fighting the airlines. Lufthansa, for example, sends you a cancellation message where you have to accept the rebooking. If you don't accept it within 14 days, it goes away and I don't know, that is all a headache. And I think that airlines should do it alone if they are just pride that they are lawful. In my opinion, airlines are just unlawful when they are doing it. Why do they think that we should be as passengers lawful if they don't have to be lawful? But write down in the comments section your experiences, what happened to you when you had flights cancelled. Did you ask for the money? Did you just say, I don't want it, it was too much hassle? Or what was your story? One story from my side from 2 weeks ago, I did fly with Air Baltic and I didn't ask for compensation for the delayed flight, even I think it was entitled to 250 euros, because the airline was nice to me. I had always the feeling they took care, nobody was trying to rip me off, and so I just said, okay, no problem. But if an airline is just trying to rip you off all the time and giving you bullshit, then you have to do it as a question of honor. But again, write down what you think. A question of honor for a lot of airlines is the 5-star Skytrax rating. I told you yesterday already what I think about Skytrax. I think that a lot of people say that it's a paid status because, I mean, excuse me, if you pay for a consultancy, of course you get the 5-star rating. And but now the first Europeans' first airline with 5 stars, unsurprisingly, lost its 5th star. It's now a 4-star airline, and you have to see that. It depends, of course, on passenger ratings, but on the larger part, on the willingness of the airline to pay the company for a branding package. And this said, for their branding package to have a 5-star airline, which never was a 5-star airline, is maybe not as good as you think, and they as well. But it was an industry already in running gag that Lufthansa was having 5-star for a product that never flew. So the business class was never in the air, and they got 2017 end or 2018 the 5th star, and it took over 4 years to get it removed. Luckily, because Lufthansa has no 5-star appeal in that case, in my opinion. Even the business class is really far away from even 4 class, but that is 4 stars. So that is my opinion. This said, Lufthansa said it's temporarily. They are aiming again for 5 stars, but for that reason they should change things. Of course, they're saying that they're changing economy, premium economy, business class, and first class. But the question is, how long does it take until the full fleet is going through this retrofit, how it's called, or the inline fit for the new aircraft? That is number one. And the other thing is, do we still have to wait until the entry of into service the ICE for example, for the 777X? No, the 350 will get the new first class as a cabin for, that is what they are rumoring. People wrote again, and that is in my opinion really funny when you look at it. Who cares what Skytrax thinks, because it's about competitivity, that the airlines have to be competitive, and for him it was mostly more important to fly safely. Is this for you as well, or is food for you an incremental part of the flight? For me, it's just that the food has to be edible, not that it is just something where you have to, and it has to be there without headache where you think that it's just done to do it, but not with love. So food is important in my opinion. But again, you said that 5 stars or 4 stars you don't care because you don't look at the Skytrax rating anyways anymore. For that reason, now it's a 4-star. Other people said it should be 3 stars. Comment down again. I'm looking forward for your comments. But the mother was not as successful in the 5-star rating. Austrian is going for the 5-star rating, at least when it comes to the prices. They're increasing the prices. Flying will be more expensive, and the Lufthansa daughter is increasing the prices by 100 euro approximately. Lufthansa did this already on long-haul flights mostly. Up to. It's always an up to, and it's not 100% over everything, but depending on the market. Some markets even don't get more expensive because the markets are not paying it. Or competition has different prices. But there was a TV show which is more annoying, because when the prices increase, there should be the service as well better, not only decreasing. The One Morgen Journal, that is a TV show in the morning in Austrian television, if I'm not mistaken, there was a CEO of Austrian Airlines, Annette Mann, and she said, that they have no staff shortage, they have 150 people more in the cabin, so that should be no problem. But the blog Austrwings had different news, and they have a whistleblower. But the whistleblower says basically that 150 cabin crew did run away from Austria, more than they just never turn around and were running. Of course, when you say 150 going, 150 coming, that is not the headache. But the headache is if you have experienced people, they don't have the experience in a couple of weeks back on the level. So these people who had knowledge and who had a kind of experience are gone, and this knowledge is gone. You have to get it back. That takes time. And one quote from the cabin crew, who was long-time cabin crew, that in German they say, der Arsch geht vor allem an der Kundenfront täglich auf Grundeis, which is basically, how do you translate it? I cannot translate it, that it would be not beeped by YouTube. Anyways, but it is that they say that when it comes to customer contact, that they are always scared, and that they are still scared because it is not the main travel time. Main travel time also will come when the vacation starts, and the management is standing there seriously in front everyone and says that they have no staff shortage. And when they are talking so much bullshit, you don't know if you have to laugh or to cry. That is the quote, basically. And it's not only that cabin crew has a problem, it's even on the floor, on the ground, in the check-in areas and so on, lost and found, because there are so many queues that there is, of course, staff shortage. We will see. One point why they're increasing the fares and maybe a little bit slow on the staff side is they are expecting a loss because of the prices. The energy prices are going higher, and of course the fuel prices are increasing. That is the reason why they are maybe trying to save money left, right, and center. But as I said, if you increase the prices, increase the service. Otherwise, you are not better than other low-cost carriers. And why should we pay the difference? Why should we pay the difference if there are flight deals out? Deal zone. Deal zone for less than 1,000 euros to Abu Dhabi. For example, the flight can start in Amsterdam. Yes, you can fly to Switzerland with Swiss, and then you fly out with ETIHAD on a Lufthansa ticket. The price is 980-ish euros. The ticket is available between June and March 2023. Minimum time in Abu Dhabi would be 6 days. Maximum would be 12 months. I don't know how you do it if the ticket is only available between Jan and March, but who knows. And important is that it's rebookable against the fees and, very important, fare difference. Cancellations are not possible. When it comes to points, you have always to keep in mind it's a P-class ticket. The P-class ticket from Amsterdam to Zurich gives you 750 status miles. If you are collecting on Eurobonus or on Lufthansa Miles and More, for example. If you have a Lufthansa status, frequent traveler, senator or Horn Circle, you get 938 because you get 25% executive bonus. But the problem is the flight with ETIHAD. As ETIHAD is not Lufthansa metal, that is a problem. There will be no credit. So think about it that you will not get credit, but it's a cheap flight and it's a good business class product, especially when it comes to the 787-10 business class. Thank you for watching Frequent Traveler TV today. Today's episode came to an end. For that reason, like us for our show today, for my efforts to bring you more news, more miles, more points, and your aviation news. And very important as well, after you liked us, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button that you get notifications when we are going online with a new show for you. And the most important thing is to communicate with you. If you want to write me, or if you want to comment, do not hesitate to do so. In the show notes, you find my WhatsApp details. So if you have questions, I'm happy to help. Thank you for doing so, and see you tomorrow at the next episode of Frequent Traveler TV. Take off today's Lufthansa special. I think it was quite interesting. I learned a lot when preparing the show. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.